Hello, it's me again, and I'm back with this page. The page is called Y'all Mind If I Scream, and I've actually tried to record this voiceover. This will be like the 30th time or something. There's something going on with my Premiere. It keeps stopping for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe there's just a problem with the video, or maybe that's just life right now. Maybe just it's supposed to be stressful, and maybe I'm not supposed to get anything done. So it does look like I started this page with some stuff on it, but the reality is that it's from a page, one of those pages where I had stuff on the other side. So this is from my older journal. And what's going on right now is I'm just adding some gesso to the page, and there's a little bit of tape from the other side, and there's a little bit of sewing that I had done. And when I do a full flip through the journal, you'll see the page. You may see it a couple of times while I'm working on this. And also you can see that I added a little piece of paper, and the paper was actually to provide a little more stability so that I could keep the page intact so that the thread didn't pull through. Anyway, the story that I have been waiting to tell you guys is the stuff about my mom and what's going on with her right now. Basically, she had a surgery that I did mention. She had a pretty major hip surgery, and she was going to spend her recovery time in a nursing facility. And the facility was supposed to keep her for 60 days. And she was going to do her physical therapy there because her house just isn't in any kind of shape for anyone, to stay there and recover in that way. She has had a few problems. Like the first night that she was there, she had some problems with, they didn't have any medication for her, so she didn't have any pain meds, and she was kind of out of her mind. And I guess there was a little bit of drama in that situation, and it seems like maybe she had gotten upset with a nurse for putting her blankets on the floor, and there was a bunch of other stuff like that. But yesterday she called me screaming that they were going to kick her out, and that there had been this assessment that she was mentally unstable and stuff like that. And so I basically took the night off work, and I was trying to deal with it. I was supposed to get a call yesterday to find out what was going on, and long story short, I talked to somebody today, and everything is going to be fine. My mom is not going to get kicked out of the place. Everything's fine. So what I wanted to talk about today was actually not that particular situation. What I wanted to talk about was mental illness and kind of living with mental illness and understanding some of the things that are going on. Like, I have very severe PTSD, and I've talked a little bit about that in one of my longer, I won't call it a vlog, because this was actually while I did a live stream, and I uploaded the whole thing where I was talking about that. So one of the things that, if you know anything about me, I do have very bad panic attacks. I have panic disorder. I do see a doctor, and I am actually I'm managing it pretty well. I'm actually doing okay, like I mentioned before in my last vlog. And one of the things I wanted to get into was not only for myself, but also like what it's like to live with somebody who has pretty bad mental illness. And I don't know if you've ever met anyone who has paranoid delusion, I would say. But there becomes a point, you're going to hear me clicking my space bar because I keep having this issue where my video stops. So I'm really sorry about that, but it's the only way I can watch the video and do this at the same time. So I won't say that my mom is 100% paranoid delusional because I'm not a doctor. But I will say that she has a very severe tendency to think everybody's against her all the time. She is always super friendly to people at first, and then as you get to know her, she will turn anything you do into something against her, even if it wasn't. You could say something to her, you could look at her a certain way, and she will see it completely differently, and she'll turn it into something. She will, if you're having a conversation with her and you look off to the side, for any reason, there could be a bird out there, she will take that as you're not listening to her and you are conspiring against her. She has jumped on the whole flat earth conspiracy stuff and chemtrails, and she gets very into like conspiracies, and this all of this stuff kind of like feeds itself. And anytime there is a situation where it almost like somebody could possibly be against her or lying to her, she jumps on it. She totally jumps on it, and she turns it into a whole thing, and it starts to spiral out of control. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. I took the day off work. I had a full meltdown worrying that she was going to get removed from this home. And I hadn't even spoken to anybody else about it because they were going to call me and they didn't. And I'm all worried about this, and I'm calling my doctor because I'm under the assumption that like whatever they were doing to her is completely wrong. They can't do that because, of course, in, nursing facilities, they have people that have problems there all the time. I mean, I've been around people with dementia and Alzheimer's and things like that. And even if my mom did have the, issues, they have people on staff for that. So I don't know why they would do that. And I was really upset, and I called my doctor, and I was going to have her go over there and, possibly talk to her. And I actually, took the night off work so that I could deal with all of this today. And so today I got up first thing in the morning. I called my doctor. I waited to hear from my mom. My mom sent me a bunch of long messages about how she was upset and, freaking out about everything. And I'm like still in full panic mode about all of this stuff, and it's just not getting any better. So, I finally get a call today, and it's from my mom's social worker, who my mom, as of yesterday, had thought that, that this lady was totally against her and was going to kick her out. She tells me that everything's fine. And so I am again in this place of like, I get these like this full on panic, and everything has to stop, and everything has to be about her, and everything has to become this thing. And there's a reason I don't live with her anymore and I don't interact with her, because like, that's the kind of thing that'll knock me out for like 3 weeks. And in the past, before I was in a healthier place and I was able to, live my life the way that I should be able to live my life, it was that. It was that every day. Every single day, it was something terrible. Even if we had a good day, it turned into something terrible. And my mom is the kind of person who tends to fixate on something. So she could just decide out of nowhere that she was mad at you, and now she'll be bringing something up that happened 15 years ago that you may not even remember. And especially for me, because I don't remember things. She'll bring up things that I did when I was 8 years old that she's still mad about. And I try to tell her these things because she's not treated for this, at least not yet. I try to tell her these things, it's like, it's not, and I tell her it's not about me being upset that you do this. It's about, this is unhealthy for you. Every time she gets upset about things that happened in the past that she can't change, even if she was wrong, and there's a very good chance she was wrong, like, that she misinterpreted it, she will start to cry, and she gets upset, and she panics. And the lady that I talked to today told me that's exactly what happened yesterday. So I don't really know what to do in these situations, and I don't know how to handle it. And I seem to be the only person who can calm her down, which puts me in a very bad place, because I'm not a mental health professional, and I'm not suited to just keep doing this all the time over and over again. It's so frustrating. And so I actually cleaned up my office today, and I just screamed. I just screamed all of the things that I want to scream at her, but I can't, because it's not, it's not healthy for me to scream at somebody, and it's not fair to her that, that she has these problems and that this happens to her. And, just like it's not fair to me. And of course it's not fair to poor Brian. I mean, I had him in such a state last night. I had him bring some food home for me, and I ate it, and I just sat and like kind of zoned out. And then I just went to sleep, and I slept all night. I slept for like 15 hours because I couldn't do anything else. And, I did. So today I screamed. I just screamed and yelled while I cleaned things up. And oh, my poor cat Woodrow came in, and he just looked at me like, "Oh my God, Mom, what is wrong with you?" So I'm going to just talk a little bit about what I'm actually doing here. I added a little bit of, I just don't want to complain anymore. Anyway, so I added a little bit of pencil and a little bit of ink right here just to kind of gray it out. And I'm adding some, and I wanted to mention this, I'm adding a little bit of something I made with my 3 doodler, and I'm just going to glue it on there. And there's going to be a piece of polymer clay that I put on there. That is something I've made before. It's got some mica on it. And the paint that I used on the piece of 3 doodler is actually from Ranger, and it's supposed to be like enamel. It has a very strong smell to it, so I don't use it very often. And I think it might be alcohol based, but I'm not sure. But it does have a smell like on hobby stuff that you might use for that. And I just made a little space for it to put it on there and use some tacky glue. You're going to see at the end of the video, which is going to be coming up pretty soon, that I just used some tape to tape it down after I hit the glue to like make sure that it all stays. And then you'll see that I added the part that says "Y'all mind if I scream" afterwards, I believe, but you might see it. I think I did it afterward. But that's basically the full video, the full thing, the full piece. And I appreciate you guys putting up with me ranting. And even though I still left it a little vague, I kind of got a little more into it and just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. So this is the full piece, and I hope everybody has a great day. And I'm sorry for complaining so much, and I know it's been weird. Thanks again for watching, and bye. Bye.